This week, I wanted to talk about what is unfolding in the United States, and that is the U.S. debt limit hitting its ceiling, aka running out of money. Now, this will affect everyone from low income to the not really ultra wealthy, but the higher class somewhat, and but most effectively drastically affecting middle class and income people, also seniors and our troops. So I want to first focus on the people who are the most affected. That is going to be senior citizens, federal workers, low income families, and our troops. Now, how is this going to affect senior citizens? Well, it's going to affect it because you're not going to be able to get your Social Security checks. Once that limit is hit, the government can't fund itself, so now you won't receive Social Security, even though you paid your whole life working into this. You won't be able to get anything out of it. Same with your Medicaid. You won't. There won't be any money for that either. For low income families, that's people who you are affected on uh, if you get federal loans or money for low income housing, or if you're on food stamps, it won't be able to pay for food, which everyone needs. And for federal workers, there's no money left to pay you, but they'll still be able to pay our senators and House of Representatives, of course, because they can't go without their paychecks. And for our troops, you won't receive any benefits or anything of that nature because there is no money left. Now, I'm for raising the debt ceiling. Some people will say, no, we can't keep doing this. We're going to keep going into debt. Looking this up as of September 26th, 2021, as I'm recording this, we are at $29 trillion in debt. To anybody say we can't saddle our future with our debt, you already have. You saddled my future and my kids' future and their kids' futures. There's no way we can pay back $29 trillion. With that being said, I don't think that the debt really matters anymore. We're at almost 30 trillion. At that point, who cares if it's another trillion or so? Because we're stuck with it. We're never going to be able to pay that back. But most importantly, looking at the numbers of not doing the debt ceiling is unbelievable not to do it. For the reason we would lose 6 million new jobs. That to me is not something we should mess around with. When you mess with someone's livelihood, that is unacceptable. We need to get those 6 million new jobs because we need people to go back to work. And not only will we lose 6 million new jobs, the conservative estimate is we'll go back up to 9% unemployment rate. Right now, we're at 5.2%. Think about that almost doubling on October 1st. Imagine that. That just seems ludicrous not to extend it. It doesn't make any sense not to. We already know the debt is way too much for us to pay back anytime soon. There's only negatives to this. And on top of that, if you're invested with a 401k or you have stocks, it's going to affect you massively. Looking at the numbers, I don't see us not going into a recession. I really do think we are going to slip back into a recession because we are seeing numbers that we haven't seen since 2008. Our inflation rate is at 5.2%, and that's been going on for the past 4 months, and it doesn't seem like slowing down. We are also seeing reverse repo rates hitting an all-time high of $1.3 trillion. It's only meant for 80 to 100 billion to offload some cash, but they are abusing the system because they have so much cash on hand. And that's due to Jerome Powell, one of the Federal Reserve's chairman, pumping so much cash into the market. Banks, other financial institutions have way too much money on their hands, which is creating these inflation rates. And on top of that, we have hedge funds who are investing in your 401ks, being over leveraged because they bet against America for the past year, making billions off of us, off of betting against us. So, with that said, we need to fund this government. If we don't, I only see a downside. I only see a downside. Sure, we add to the debt, but at this point, $30 trillion, my generation ain't gonna be paying that back. My kids' generation won't be able to pay that back. We need to be smarter with our money, because our senators are asking questions like this to the Securities Exchange Commissioner, Gary Gensler. These stupid questions.
I honor that. But as to the people and the companies that you regulate as chairman of the SEC, do you consider yourself to be their daddy? No. Then why do you act like it?
I try to take the oath of office seriously that the SEC is set up to promote investor protection and facilitate capital formation and that which is in the middle.
When they should be asking real questions of how did we get to this point? How did the federal oversight, which is Securities Exchange Commission, let hedge funds get over leveraged, let financial institutions get over leveraged? I don't get it how they can let this happen, but we're at this point. So if you're in the market, be careful, because I'm seeing the numbers acting like 2008. I don't know if it will come to fruition. I hope it doesn't, for my sake, because I'm in the trades and that's going to be the first thing to go. But for other people's sake too. If we do not raise this debt ceiling, I don't know what will happen. I think we will definitely slip back into a recession. It's time for Republicans to act on this and not grandstand. And choose America first. Because the debt doesn't matter anymore at $30 trillion. It doesn't. And that's all I have for this week. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and we'll have to see what happens before October 1st. Thank you.